Attack the enemy! Victory is ours!
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back for more War Thunder high-tier Soviet tank gameplay. Don't worry, just the beginning of this battle is in the replay. This battle overall took about 22 minutes long, just over the limit for Shadowplay's DVR function, so I only had to go back and just get a little bit of the beginning in a replay. I almost started with just the battle where it picked up, but I figured it was only a couple minutes, why not let you guys see the entire battle? So I did. I did trim a little bit of travel time with my TU2, as you'll see coming up, so that's why the entire video is not quite over 20 minutes long, but that's the entire battle was. I just trimmed some of it out. So I was working on respading my T10M after the engine smoke system was added and unspaded it for me. Also, my T10M has a talisman on it, so as I'm trying to speed through the grind on my ZSU 23-4, which I was down to less than 100,000 research to go on it when the 1.71 patch came along and added a bunch of new vehicles, I elected to just continue my research on the 23-4 and finish that off so that I had a better high-tier SPAA than the ZSU 57-2. So that's why my Soviet research is, that's why I haven't had the BMP or the T64 out yet. I did the Su-100P because it was a fast researchable vehicle, and that's why you got that one. But as soon as I finish up the ZSU 23-4, I'll move on to probably the BMP because it should be less research. I'm not sure yet. That's probably what I'll do, though. I may do the T64, but most likely not. So, in the actual game, I did see that KPZ-70 drive by there. I just caught the edge of his turret going by. You can obviously see what he is in the replay system here. This is where I should pick back up in the regular battle, and there we go. So there was the first kill of the battle against the KPZ-70 with my T10M. And then I rolled around to come into the A point to take it back from them as they had captured the first point. This battle came from yesterday, October the 18th. And I got hit in the side by a KPZ who was disabled, had his tracks knocked out, but had his gun already aimed at me, so I could drop all the smoke I wanted. It wasn't going to make a difference here. He was going to finish me off. And with his reload being 5 or 6 seconds, my turret was never going to turn fast enough to get to him. I was able to mark him for the team, and then come back in my T62. You can see he had a broken track, so I knew he was going to be there for at least a moment. So I'm keeping him marked for the team because we've got 3 or 4 guys just to the north of him that are going to either get hit from him in the side after he moves up from A, or they're going to drive right into his ambush there hidden around that building, just like I did. Now, yes, I didn't look over where he was, but I was trying to get into the A point, get in the capture spot, and then look around, and of course, obviously, that didn't really work out, but you can see there are multiple people moving down towards A. He hasn't started capturing at the point that I'm still marking him for everyone, so that's why I'm telling everybody there's a guy there, and I don't want them to drive right into his ambush, which is exactly what happened to one of the guys there. So now they know that somebody's on A, so I can stop marking him there and drive on in my T62 after I accidentally turned early down the wrong alleyway and found one of the dead ends with the buildings. That's what happens when you're typing and marking all at the same time as driving. So I'm looking for this KPZ-70 that had killed me at A because I know he's somewhere up here threatening my teammates, and then he gives his position away by firing the machine gun and cannon, the 20 mil there. That's obviously, with the tracers mixed in, that's going to be from a KPZ or an MBT. And sure enough, there he is. Somebody just barely misses me with an ATGM from up at B. Thankfully, right as I stopped, then I was able to get a good shot right through the ammo in the back of the KPZ's turret and finish him off for a little revenge, which left me in a pretty good position to move in towards A. Even though somebody's shooting at me from up at B, I should be able to capture from behind this rock right here and be mostly protected from fire at B. At least I thought so. And you can see someone shooting another missile at me. He misses. I get another shot at him. And my shot somehow ricochets off the gun mantlet that he's got there. I had at least decapped A. And with my breach being lost, I figure he's going to readjust his missiles and be able to hit me again. So I backed off to hide behind this rock as far down into the water as I dared to repair, and started repairing my breach, which, of course, was like 45 seconds. But I'm at least hidden from that KPZ-70's missile launches up at B. And thankfully he didn't have AP-FSDS yet. So the best I can do is mark him for the team. And at this point, I still... most of the time, it's just faster for me to type MBT than KPZ. So I typed MBT even though it is a KPZ-70, although I figured most people were going to understand what I meant. And now it became a race between, was my repair going to finish in time to get up into the capture point with the ZSU-37, or was I going to miss out on capturing A while I was repairing? I did make it up there in time, enough to get at least the 300 spawn points. And about a half a second after we captured, my poor little ZSU-37 buddy got KPZ-70'd pretty hard. But at least he was sort of like a tripwire for me, and I was able to spot the KPZ-70 coming, and then move in and try to charge him with my T-62. Now, if I'd only been driving anything other than my T-62 here, with the reload speed that the T-62 has, I probably would have been okay. I did get a shot through and knock out his cannon barrel, and then elected to charge him and try to finish him off before he could get his repair done, because he's certainly got a reload advantage on me. Now, this shot right here, not sure what my shot hit, but obviously nothing of any importance. I'm not sure why it didn't go through and cause some damage to something. And while I'm waiting to reload, I get hit by... first I thought it was him reloading, but it was another KPZ-70 hitting me from behind at B. Probably the one that was already shooting the missiles at me. So, unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish that KPZ at the A point. So I'm coming back in my TU-2S now with the large bomb load to see if I can either bomb the guy out at A or take care of the guy at B that was shooting me, and has got a pretty good sniper position up over our team from the B point down to A or even C. Or honestly, from there you can shoot all the way back to where Sub-Zero is and his IT-1 there back by the farm from the B point there. So, due to the KPZ and MBT-70's 20mm anti-aircraft abilities, I'm coming in low and as fast as possible here to try and surprise him at the B point. Now, you can drop two pretty big bombs here before you and of course you can see there are two KPZ-70s up here, and conveniently one starts backing up towards the other one, and I'm trying to drop one bomb on him, and then I drop a second bomb on the other guy as I go by, and naturally the first bomb gets nothing, and the second bomb gets one single hit on a vision block on the KPZ-70 there, so nothing really good. Not the effects I was looking for. But I've got one much larger bomb left over, and I know I'm going to be able to spot at least one of these two KPZ-70s here, and there he is hidden under the tree. I roll in tight, thought I was going to fling the bomb too far, dropped it at the last possible second, somehow didn't get killed by the trees there, and then got a really good hit and blew up his ammo with the big bomb there. So I cut about 3 minutes of travel time here of me going back to the base and landing and then taking off again. And I'm going to head back in for the A point again, or the B point rather. We captured the A point in the meantime, so I'm going back in for B to finish off the other hidden KPZ-70 that I didn't get in the first pass. Someone had called out there were enemies up there and that they think they were hiding in the woods, so that's what I'm expecting, to have to drop the bombs in the trees there, and if nothing else, I'm at least going to defoliate the area and take their cover away. Now you can see up ahead someone saying that there's anti-air, and you can tell from these shots right here that that's definitely not the KPZ-70, that's definitely Gepard tracers being fired, so I'm fully expecting to bomb a Flak Panzer I Gepard up here, and now I can hear him. And then as I see them, it turns out there's two of them. So I dropped my two bombs to try and give myself some cover and got as low as I possibly could, but I really did not realistically expect to get away from a pair of Gepards there as close as I was to them. Got set on fire, tried shutting off the engines, and I'm hoping to get the fire out and roll back around, come in low behind the trees and drop the big bomb on them, but it was not to be. Did not have any expectations of surviving overflying 2 Gepards like that and not hitting them with the bombs, so be it. I did take out a KPZ-70 at least, so it wasn't a totally worthless pair of bomb runs. Also, I did get a pretty good reconnaissance pass there myself to see where those 2 Gepards were. So I knew there were a pair of Gepards and a KPZ-70 up there on B. So we've got a heavy moving in nearby and an IS-4. And I'm going to see what I can do to cover him. Looking for the KPZ-70 here. But I spotted a Gepard instead. So that's -1 Gepard on the B point. Continuing to look around, I really want to finish off the KPZ-70 that's up there to clear the path for my IS-4 who's moving in. But I'm just not spotting him yet. The MiG-15 came by and did slight, no damage, but got a hit on me with the bombs that he dropped on these Su-23-4, so I moved forward to get behind the cover of these rocks and bushes up here at the usual sniper ridge. And the IS-4 was unfortunately taken out somewhere from behind by somebody over at B. Probably the KPZ-70 that I couldn't see. Now if you look up there you can see something moving and it turns out it's the other Gepard. So there's the second Gepard knocked out. I'm not sure where the KPZ-70 is over at B, but now I have nobody at B to threaten to capture it. And we're losing the C point. We had a 2-to-1 capture point advantage. We're now losing the C point. I just spot a KPZ-70 coming up to A, which I'm pretty sure is the guy who had come off B. The last that we saw him as I flew by and got killed in the TU-2 was him driving down the hill to the east of B. So most likely he drove down the hill, circled around, and came up to the A point. So I saw him come up there. I didn't quite have time as I was moving to get the gun stabilized. I'm going to warn the T-62 that's down there. And unfortunately, I had not enough time for a reaction shot on the KPZ to hit him there. Fired off a shot, moved back behind cover so that he didn't come around behind me. He pops off all of his smoke, and I'm now going to move up towards the C point because the T-62 knows the guy is there and should be able to hopefully have a 50-50 chance of disabling the KPZ himself. As we're holding the point at A, and our T-62 is in the defensive advantage position of not having to move. Hopefully he'll get a shot off before the KPZ-70 can move around and get a shot on him. The KPZ-70 does have the advantage of the stabilizer and a very fast reload, so the T-62 is going to have to get his shot in right and get it in the first time. But he is in the advantage of being in the defense. So I'm coming over towards C to help our SPAA that's there, who is now taking the C point back. Good job. And I'm going to move up through the middle of the city now, and if I can help it, I will move to C if they need my help, and if not, I'm going to move in behind A and try and take out the KPZ-70 that, as far as I know, is still hiding out there. Now, somebody gets hit down the middle that almost has to be the KPZ-70. Our team takes the C point, which frees me up from having to head for C, and I move in to come in on top of A and hopefully ambush the KPZ-70. And sure enough, he reveals himself up in front. By the time my gun stabilizes, I thought I was going to lose him, but thankfully he was holding off to probably get another shot in at our T-62, or at least try to figure out why he couldn't capture A and see what he could locate, and that held him there long enough for me to get a shot into his ammo and take him out, thankfully. So you can see someone else get hit and marked up in front of me there around the curve of the water of the lake there, which was most likely someone getting hit by our T-62 at A. So I'm moving up to get into a position here where I'm protected by view from B, and be able to react to anyone threatening either A or C. As far as I'm concerned right now, they can just have the B point. I see smoke up ahead, which means someone is up there. Most likely it's got to be the guy that was just hit and marked up near the pond, because that's basically where my gun is pointing. So I'm holding to see what reveals itself out of the smoke, and waiting for anybody to start coming in after the A point or the C point, and that's where I'm going to react and be the mobile defense force. And the Leopard gets taken out by our T-62 at A, and almost simultaneously someone starts capping the C point. So A, as far as I'm concerned, is well defended enough by the T-62, so I'm going to head in and do what I can do over at C, because we've only got one SPAA over there. Turns out, as you can see right there, it's a ZSU-37, so depending on what he runs into, if he's got the APCR rounds, he's capable of defending himself, but he's pretty outmatched by most things. So, not a guarantee that he's going to win. Now, of course, as soon as I come around the corner here, I run into a tree that gets knocked down and spoils my view. However, I didn't get destroyed, I just lost my engine on my track, and got a good hit and a fire in on the Leopard A1A1 that it was that I had shot there, who had shot me. And I would have fired on that second Leopard back there coming out of their spawn because he was engaged in battle, and also I was immobilized here, so I definitely would have shot him. However, the A1A1 that had shot me, that I had shot back, dropped off his smoke and then started moving around to try and ambush me, so I knew he was coming from one of these two places here. Turns out it was right here. He got a shot that bounced on me, I'm not exactly sure how, and then I got a shot into his ammo and took him out. And the other Leopard was hidden. And right as I was moving forward, as the MiG-15 crashed trying to strafe me, the RU-251, who had taken the C point, shoots me from behind and takes out my Object 120. So you can see he's moving towards the A point now. So he's captured the C point. Our ZSU-37 is hanging back, which I don't blame him. I mark where the RU-251 is, and then let the guys know that the RU-251 is heading to A. So now I've got an SPAA moving up from the southern spawn into their B point. We've got another SPAA up at the C point, the ZSU-37, and I'm trying to let him know it's clear, go take C back, because we're bleeding tickets out. We've still got a relatively good ticket advantage here, but it will bleed away pretty quickly, especially if our ZSU-37 gets killed out at C. We're really going to have a problem, because then I've got to go defend the A point and take the C point back. So by no means do we have a guaranteed win here with the ticket advantage that we have. We still need to go get the points back. And I'm pretty sure that the RU-251 is not coming for our spawn based on the direction he was going. I'm pretty sure he's going in to take the A point. But until I know that for sure, I'm concerned that he might be sneaking around sneakily to get into our spawn, because that's what lots of people do. Now, as it turns out, he is actually heading for the A point, and there he is arriving, as our guys are taking the B point back, and then our ZSU-37 rolls into the C point and starts decapping C as well. So I'm now moving into the A point, completely confident that the RU-251 is there. Right as I come around here, there's a Leopard moving forward, but I can't get the gun stabilized and into position as I hit the stairs on the back of this building with my Object 906. And I've got to kind of decide now, do I continue on after that Leopard that I can see, or do I go after the RU-251? My decision is going to be go in after the RU-251 for now, warn the guy at C that there's a Leopard coming his way, and deal with the guy that I know is here at A, and forget about the guy who isn't aware of me coming up behind him. So I'm hoping I can spot the RU-251 coming out of A here. And just as I come around this corner, he's backing up. I get a good hit into his engine and set him on fire, immobilizing his gun crew, and then finish him off with a follow-up shot right as their tickets bleed out, and didn't end up being able to chase down the Leopard. But second place with 8 kills and a cap, and only 4 deaths comparative to 8 kills. I'll take it. I didn't even realize how many kills I had until the battle was over there. As you can see, the battle took just about 22 minutes, so just over the DVR capability of Shadow Play, so that's why the little bit of the beginning was replay format. But there you have it, 8,000 research total, mostly towards the ZSU-23-4, a little bit towards aircraft. Second place, and I feel bad for the guys in first and second place on the other team because they had huge scores and they lost. They would have had super research gains. Killed a whole bunch of KPZ-70s along with some other vehicles there. And we pulled off the win. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Pretty good start to the week for me. We'll see you guys soon for more War Thunder. Thank you all for stopping by and checking this one out, and have a great day, everybody.